promoting and encouraging unity and diversity as young Kenyans. We invite our peers to join us and participate in the Kenya Youth Unity and Diversity dialogue on matters of good governance, ethics, and livelihoods, so they can become leaders.
So, these are categorized together. Failed government promises, lack of inclusivity in matters of decision making, misinformation, and political manipulation. So yesterday, Viola, when are you going to make presentation about the presidents?
Yes.
Yes. Nice. So, it's not about tribalism. It's about political manipulation. Here ndio itakuleta hizo zingine zitakuwa in bracket falling under political manipulation. How are we manipulated politically? MP wenu atakuja waambie ikiingia tapia kila mtu nduthi, ikiingia tafanya sijui aje, alafu akosa kufanya. These are promises yenye anafanya. Aikosa kufanya nini happen? That will be failed government promises, and that's a problem. Viola, when are you going to make presentation about the presidents?
Yes.
Nice. So, it's not about tribalism. It's about political manipulation. Here ndio itakuleta hizo zingine zitakuwa in bracket falling under political manipulation. How are we manipulated politically? MP wenu atakuja waambie ikiingia tapia kila mtu nduthi, ikiingia tafanya sijui aje, alafu akosa kufanya. These are promises yenye anafanya. Aikosa kufanya nini happen? That will be failed government promises, and that's a problem. We have lack of inclusivity of matters in. Okay, let's discuss misinformation. Misinformation as youths. There are so many things that we do not know as youths, which, if we knew, ingetusaidia sana. For instance, our rights. Yeah? Ama mnazijua vizuri. But then, good thing we took over to inform you in such things. They'll come the next elections, so that we're in a good position. Information is power. Yeah? Let us talk about communication sector. You see, like 2 decades back, the way people are communicating, it's not how we are communicating right now. For instance, okay, you see, like us the youth right now, we are tunashikanisha vitu mbio kuliko mama zetu, baba zetu, na shosho zetu, right? For instance, Madam Paris today. Leo papa simu ulikuwa unashindwa kutumia mtu pin location. Yes. Kutumia kama example. Say kutuma pin location, that's something very easy for us because you already know. But then it may be technical for you guys.
Yeah.
That's why in some sectors it should be run by youths in communication. Assuming points of that communication sector. Youths wanafaa kuwa hapo like deep inside. Naona kama sasa ile kwenye tunaongelea story ya elections, alafu tunaongelea vitu kama trying to make it to be electron, what do you mean, like digitize, yeah, when you unaweza vote online. Hiyo committee yenye inaongelea hapo hivyo unaweza pata ni ya wazee peke yake. Watashikanisha aje? But then sisi tuko na hizi njia. Tuko na vitu kama digital signatures, how you can sign digitally. Vitu kama hizo. See, we can run that program well and we can see it through.
Independence. I've said that when we got our independence, there were no specific number of slots set aside for the youths in the parliament. We only got those 2 slots during from 2010 when the constitution was established. And also those 2 slots, they are very few. They are just 2 for a male and a female. But also those 2, they are not occupied by youths. We can. They are not occupied by youth because we only have 1 youth. A youth representative, and he was just appointed the other day by the president. This guy, Fikirini from Kilifi. That is the only youth I think. And I don't think if he's in the parliament. The only young member of parliament who was elected is the guy who replaced his father, Were, from Kaspuli, right? So that, I think that was the only young one from, in the parliament, right? If I'm not wrong. So that is the statistics. Now, again, another thing that we would like us to talk about are the effects of violence during the elections. The most number of people affected are the youth during elections, because we are so enlightened and we tend to know more than the other generation, because we go with technology. We know very well that this person, if this person occupies power, then they are going to oppress us. So because we cannot sit down and watch them oppress us, we try to resist. So when we go, how do we resist? Through protests. So during the protest, that's when we are being gunned down. And then there's nobody who is going to... Yeah, exactly. So we need to come up with a system whereby we can stop this bloodshed thing in the country. We need to stop this bloodshed thing in the country. It happened because of the election. So I'm not saying that we should not have election. No, the election should be there. But the election should be peaceful. There should be no bloodshed. Exactly.
That means we need a youth ICT representation in IBC. Do we have a youth representation in IBC?
No.
We need a youth representation in IBC and present this idea that you need the system on your hands.
Yeah.
Kuna hiyo story pia, like when you read the constitution, you have to read the constitution holistically. What does that mean? You don't read one article omitting the other one. You read it as a whole. When I say access to information cannot work without freedom of media during elections. You see? That is why this government was trying to bring up a law where the media cannot air results. So how can we work around that? It's more of sim to moja takuwa na power.
As you're speaking, we are having that election. Sasa wana try to air out who wants to be who wants to be this, right? You get to see kuna hapo changamoto ziko zile za Kalonzo lazima aunge fulani na fulani, Rigathi aunge fulani na fulani, ndio huyo afanye nini aweze kupita, right? Without him, like without those guys mentioned, wasipomunga mkono, there's a high possibility that the other party, whereby it's the Excellency President William Ruto and let's say His Excellency Matiang'i, right? Tukiweka pamoja kama Rigathi hajamshikilia huyu mwingine mkono, unapata huyu ako juu, huyu ako chini, kwa sababu kabila fulani yenye iko na uwezo wa kupeana kura haijamuunga fulani na fulani mkono. Kwa sasa hivi watu wengi wanasema obvious Mkalenjin haizi mgeuka Mkalenjin mwenzake, si ndio? Sasa wanajua kwa akili yake kwamba Wakalenjin wote wamempatia nani? Wamempatia president wetu kura, si ndio? Sasa imesalia nani? Hao wengine sasa watu wa Murima lazima watushike mkono sisi wa Nyanza Bekisi, watushike mkono so that we can be able to defeat the other one. Si ndio? So so we want to remove that, whereby it's not a must. Like I don't say it's not a must because we are tribes also, okay, so but we want to remove that tufume macho kidogo ile as much as Amakikuyu nataka kuona huyu anafanya nini, si ndio?
Most of us, we vote these guys who are corrupt. We vote them in power not because we want to, but because of the circumstances that we are in.
But who created the circumstances?
Yes.
Amepatia unga na ugali hata kushika kwa kwambie piga kura hii hapa kimeta kwa
kura yako siri yako.
But this is the same person who will elect
and they'll continue creating the same situation that made me need
Yes.
that loaf of bread and 200. You get, but once we've instilled that kind of and created awareness around that idea and concept, people can start to understand that maybe if I don't take this money today, I'm giving myself a possible and better future.
Yeah.
Right now, you are fully aware of what we are going to be dealing with. So, as for me, it has been a successful session, and I hope we are going to discuss more. As we continue, we are going to discover more problems and how to come up with solutions to those problems that are affecting our nation, and especially the issues that are affecting the youth in our nation right now.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
To do what? To participate, engage, and perform. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Kenya Youth Unity and Diversity Youths identifying gaps, problems, during the Finance Bill Gens Protests 2024. Rights of the Youth, Participation and Involvement. Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, guarantees every person the right, peaceably and unarmed, to assemble, demonstrate, picket, and present petitions to public authorities. It is a fundamental right under the Bill of Rights, Chapter 4, allowing citizens to voice grievances and engage in civic participation without violence. Kenya Law Reform Commission.
I've seen your parents also have joined me by sending you to this workshop and seminar. So I'm not the only one. We have other parents behind me or next to me. I don't know how I'd say, who I would highly appreciate for sending you to this workshop.
The youth need a safe and a brave space where they engage in dialogue on issues affecting them, and participate in coming up with solutions to those issues by actively performing in the implementation of the decision-making process to promote good governance and democracy. Kenya Youth Unity in Diversity, identifying and exercising Article 37 in a democratic, safe, and brave space. Please join us to identify the problems encountered by Gen Z's 2024 protests.